What's up, everybody? June 16, 2022, and this is 413 Sportstalk 373. The NFL is 32-32, draft edition. Ends today with the Kansas City Chiefs, my personal favorite to win the Super Bowl. I think they reloaded quite well over the last couple years. I think Tyreek Hill being gone doesn't really mean anything. I think Patrick Mahomes is always who he's going to be, and I believe they're going to spread that ball around. Western Mass Sports, we have two tournaments to talk about and stuff down the road for tomorrow. And also, we're going to talk Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 because that shit was crazy. NBA Finals Game 6 tonight. A champion could potentially be crowned. Unless you're like many who agree that the NBA is rigged and going to go to 7. I don't know. No matter what you believe, episode 373 is going to start now. We're going to start with a story out of New York Jets minicamp. Begins with their offensive tackle, one of my favorites, Mekhi Becton, a big ticket. Fuck, he's back and he's healed. You guys know how I feel about him, though. His size and speed ratio is fucking nuts. Like, no one that tall should be that fast. No one that fucking fat should be that fast. It's incomprehensible, to say the least. But he was speaking after practice, like, letting people know that he's not a draft bust. You know, a lot of people are saying, he comes into camp every single year and gets hurt, and he hasn't really done anything since he was a rookie. He's criticized literally, like, about his weight, too. Just everybody. But, you know, those who haven't watched him in college, haven't watched him in the little time that he's played as a Jet, saw he's very athletic, and this kid can protect the quarterback. He's injury prone, very, very much so. Maybe at 6'7", 363, he kind of like needs to work on conditioning, lose a little bit of weight. Maybe eating more healthy or something like that. But then again, he is a professional football player. And I believe Mekhi's back is against the wall. And I think that contract year is coming up too. So he's got to be in camp. He's got to be in the OTAs, talking tough. Got to be on that practice field playing, giving it 100%. And you can't think about injuries that you've had before. When you're out there trying to play, if you got that in the back of your head, you're overcompensating for something, and you're not able to perform at your to the best of your ability. Let's say. Some more shit out the NFL. Washington Commanders head coach Ron Rivera says that there's zero interest in trading scary Terry McLaurin. He says the deal will get done, as McLaurin is currently holding out for a better contract and extension. I think maybe something in the neighborhood of 3 or 4 years, 70, 80 million. Not sure if he's really worth that much. Not really a perennial 1,000-yard receiver. But it's early in his career, I guess you could say. But Rivera's confident that a deal will get done, and I guess it will. LA Dodgers pitcher Tyler Anderson loses his no-hit bidder. It was fucking crazy. It was such a low-scoring game. With 1 out in the 9th. And who else to ruin shit but Mr. Do-It-All, Shohei Ohtani for the Los Angeles Angels. He smashed a fucking triple right down the right field line. Literally jumped off the bed the second it happened. Because I thought he was going to do it. And I've witnessed no-hitters on TV, but I've never really sat through one and watched every throw. And yeah, it was cringe moment for them Dodgers. Indianapolis Colts starting safety Khari Willis, 26 years old, has retired from the NFL. He says, with much prayer and deliberation, I have elected to retire from the NFL as I endeavor to devote the remainder of my life to the further advancement of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Well, you cannot argue with him there. Newly signed Rodney McLeod and rookie Nick Cross from Maryland will compete for the starting job, with Rodney McLeod having the smaller advantage. Honestly, I would think that Nick Cross should get it. It's not. It's a little bit of bias, because I, just looking at him for the draft and watching his whole career, stuff like that. And I think he's way more aggressive and instinctive as a safety, and that shows with him. You know, he can play high, and then he can come in the slot and defend your faster wide out, and it's easy for him. And they put him as a linebacker too. So he's a very hybrid guy. Nick Cross is the long-term solution, obviously, but as of now, I would say McLeod's the starter going into camp. Yeah. That's it for the news. NFL 32 is the last one. Kansas City Chiefs. Everything seemed to be perfect in 2021. They were 12-5, AFC West champions, and have been since like 2016, including a 2019 trip to the Super Bowl where they beat the 49ers 31-20, overcoming a double-digit deficit for the third game in a row. And they did it in Week 17 too. Like a couple times actually during the regular season, and that's when we beat them. Packers beat them during the regular season. It's like December 30th or something like that. Anyway, there were a few times even during the regular season that the Chiefs played that behind bullshit. They're like, I was looking down at their watches like, okay, all right, let's turn it up, let's play. And then boom, there it is. There's Mahomes to Tyreek Hill, there's Mahomes to Kelsey, there's Mahomes to Edwards-Helaire, and so on and so forth. You get it. Byron Pingo actually caught a couple touchdowns too as a rookie. But yeah, so they beat the 49ers that year. They returned to the Super Bowl the following year, only to be on the non-confetti side of shit as Tom Brady got his 7th ring and the Bucs won impressively, 31-9. And that pass rush fucked Pat Mahomes up all game. He didn't know what the fuck to do. Last year they were yet again in the postseason, but they had their plans on a third straight Super Bowl trip ruined by Joey B and the Cincinnati Bengals, 27-24. Off-season wise, they traded Tyreek Hill to Miami. He kind of wanted to leave. You know, I don't understand why you would want to leave one of the best quarterbacks in the league. For Tua, that's like going from a BMW to a used Honda Accord. Why would you do that? Let's see who they got to continue to support Pat Mahomes in that offense. And we'll see if they replace Tyreek Hill too. Here was a footnote before we begin. Here's another team that had very few holes to fill in 2022. Some of their picks made no sense to me, and again, I'm me, not a GM. First round, 21st overall, they went with Trent McDuffie, corner from the Washington University, played for the Huskies. I was again surprised that he lasted this long, and this was the first round. I really think talent-wise, he was in the league with Sauce Gardner and Stingley Jr. Stingley Jr. hurt himself, and a lot of people are forgetting that. A lot of people forget that he had a whole year to rehab. You know the foot injury. Yeah, there we go. Let's face it, he doesn't get the same attention as the guys I just mentioned. But this isn't to say that he's not good or doesn't have the potential to be a better professional than the top two corners in this draft, and I seriously believe that. I love the way that the combination of skills that he has, and they go together so well. I've heard from multiple people. You know, you're listening to Monday Morning Quarterback, or whatever podcast or show you're listening to. That they believe he was the best corner in this class. He slipped down as being the third, and that might have been for availability, but he could have been before Sauce Gardner. The one thing I would have said, as you know, comparing both of the two, is Trent McDuffie actually played against better competition. USC, Cal, San Diego State University, than in the MAAC. Playing all those community colleges and D2 and D3 schools that are bums. Anyway, so how is this argument made? Here we go. He was the best quarterback in the Pac-12 his entire collegiate career. 13 games, 11 starts as a true freshman. He recorded 45 tackles, 2 picks. As a sophomore, 2020 COVID season, I remember that. In 4 games, 14 tackles, a pick. Now he's the fastest, he's not the fastest guy in the world is what I'm trying to say. He might even have some difficulty stopping some of the faster guys, John Brown, Jahan Dotson, guys like that who've really got the fucking rockets. But to make up for the speed or lack thereof, they will use him like he was used in Washington. Kind of rotates in as the safety when they were up by 2 or 3 scores. When you can kind of toggle with guys like that. Anyway, in 28 games, he finished with 94 tackles, 4.5 for a loss, a sack, 2 picks. He brings the element of high IQ, physicality, and being in the right place at the right time. Plus, I believed he played better competition than the latter two, and Derek Stingley was hurt a lot in college as well. So, there's my case for Trent McDuffie being the best corner in this draft. I don't think he has to start right away, but I believe at some point, week 2, week 3, you start cycling him in, and then you start playing him at safety too, and seeing what you can get from him there. The question mark for him would be, I'd say, run support. You know what I mean? He's got to add a little bit more play strength and a little bit more experience as a box safety. Anyway. First round, 30th overall, George Karlaftis from Purdue. He's a defensive end, the only true defensive end that I felt I could put a first round grade on. Versatility is good, but he's not going to take many snaps at linebacker. This guy is truly just the hands in the dirt, off ball, sack the quarterback type guy. Rushing the passer was a huge area of concern last season, and the front office addressed the situation literally as soon as the draft began. George Karlaftis is very solid. He has lots on the tool belt as far as maneuvering around offensive linemen to get to the passer. He's very talented. He's a humble guy. Hear him speak, whatever. I think, again, this is a position group that is experienced but not lacking in production, so you don't have to rush to put him out there, but I believe that he has the tools. He has all the tools to start in day one. But I think he's somebody who they will situationally kind of put in there. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo's raved about his skills. He's excited to work with him. And what he ran, that type of attacking defense that lets the ends, kind of seal the edge, but also, keep their eyes on the passer as well. And this is a great guy for this type of thing. He will definitely be a full-time starter by the end of the season. Second round, 54th overall, Sky Moore out of Western Michigan. One of my favorite wideouts in the draft, but not on my top 10 list. Him falling back this far was fucking absurd. I mocked him a few times going between picks 33 and 39, but I guess not. Yeah, he has all the tools necessary to be a stud wideout in this league. He's coming into one of the league's best offenses, led by one of the best quarterbacks. He's likely to be, when camp is all said and done, the second option behind Juju Smith-Schuster. I think Chase Claypool has done enough in my eyes to be the automatic number 2. And try just as Juju Smith-Schuster is the second option, but the first wide receiver, the second option to Travis Kelce, because that's the first one who Mahomes looks for. But there's a huge potential here, and I think that he could become one of the league stars at some point. This is a steal, and the Chiefs know it. Second round, 62nd overall, Brian Cook, safety for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Somebody who I did not know about until a little less than a week ago, and I really had to go through the different videos that I could find on YouTube about this young man. The focal point and reason why they had a great defense in 2021 was Brian Cook, the Cincinnati Bearcats. They in 45 games they went like 41-4, and that was actually Desmond Ritter, the quarterback. His record as a starter. Anyway, he was a transfer. He played his junior seasons. His tackle numbers weren't really gaudy, but on film he's literally the expert. He knows how to put motherfuckers down, and stuck his nose in there way more expected to make big plays when it came to the run. He also has good hands, good ball skills, a couple interceptions. Another good pick here to solidify the problem secondary from a year ago. Third round, 103rd overall, Leo Chenal, a linebacker from the Wisconsin Badgers. Now I'm embarrassed because you know how I talked about him all summer previous to this, and where I had him ranked. So one of my favorite linebackers that I once mocked going in the first round slipped all the way to the 103rd pick. Chiefs addressed all defensive problems, and Leo will help contributing immediately on special teams. I think we will see him get minimal snaps at first in the regular season on defense, but he will start for this team at some point, maybe not this year. Fan favorite, though, for years to come, I'm sure. Fourth round, 135th overall, Joshua Williams, cornerback from Fayetteville State. Wow, small school. Another highly talented rookie to join the Chiefs secondary. Looking at his collegiate stats, it's clear that he plays with a lot of speed. He uses his length, 6'3", as at a corner. Think about that for a second. And wingspan to make plays on the ball that smaller defensive backs can't. You will also see him playing some safety as well, using that bigger frame to help out against the run. Fifth round, Darian Kennard, offensive tackle for the Wildcats, another guy who I thought was awesome in college, who slipped really far back in the draft. Scouted him for a grip last year. I'm not really sure why he fell so far. He's huge, literally like immovable. And maybe his speed, the lack thereof, kind of was why, but I feel like he played pretty good in college. He was the anchor on that porous offensive line that was so inconsistent year in, year out. But to me, he grades out as a pro who maybe could be a full-time starter one day, or maybe he'll just be like a rotational piece until he works on his game and figures out where he's going with it. The red flags for him are just speed and quickness, honestly. So what offensive coordinators will do with a guy like that is be smart and just move him inside and just be a guard. Hey, learn to play some center sometime too. 7th round, 243rd overall, Jalen Watson, a corner from Ventura College. Not going to be a starter, even if he makes the team. But I believe based off his college careers, minimal highlight tapes, he's going to be a special teams guru, and his speed and quickness will allow for him to be an electrifying return man. Think high grade long term Cordarrelle Patterson. Who does he play for, the Falcons now? Guy like that who started off his career with good returns, but as the years went on, he was able to get penciled in as a gadget guy, situational player on offense. 7th round, 251st overall, Isaiah Pacheco, a halfback from Rutgers. Last halfback from Rutgers I remember over there was Ray Rice, honestly. 7th round, 259th overall, Najee Johnson. He was a safety that could help Kansas City. I'm not sure why they drafted all these defensive backs. Crider, Vermont-Lynch, Johnson will most likely be entrenched as a practice squad guy. That's just how it is. There it is. The NFL's 32 and 32 draft edition has come to a close. Remember, if you don't see me do your team, you can search back and look in the episodes and see what I have said, as we've covered every single team, and we're done. Every single team's rookie class. Don't forget, next week, the AFC, NFC all-rookie teams. Those will be out, thinking Monday or Tuesday, so make sure you look out for that as well. Major League Baseball, this was a horrible day, and Another reason why I do not bet on baseball. Philly over Miami 3-1. There we go. I would have lost that one. The White Sox over the Tigers 13-0. This is the second time the Tigers were beaten by the same score this year. Arizona over Cincinnati 7-4. There's another one I would have lost. Kansas City over San Francisco 3-2. Minnesota over Seattle 5-0. Atlanta over Washington 8-2. The Yankees over the Rays 4-3. Toronto over Baltimore 7-6. Toronto's won 3 of their last 4, but this one they had to do in 10 innings. Milwaukee over the Mets 10-2. There's the other one that we lost. That little 3-team teaser went by right there. Boston over Oakland 10-1. My Red Sox are on a 3-game winning streak. Yeah. Pittsburgh over St. Louis 6-4. San Diego over the Cubs 19-5. Cleveland over Colorado 7-5. And for the Battle of LA, Game 2, the Dodgers beat the Angels 4-1. That no hitter was broken up though. That was probably the best baseball game that I've watched, not in person. I'd say it was pretty good. It was pretty good. NBA Finals, Game 6. Golden State leads the series 3-2. Curry scored 16 points and no threes last outing, and you can't help but think that he was saving all the strength for the next game. So he can go ham tonight and do his thing and win his 4th NBA Finals ring, tying him with the king, LeBron James. On the other side, what's it going to be, fellas? Honestly, is Jason Tatum going to shoot like the GOAT that we think mentored him, or is he going to stink it up again? Honestly. And where's Al Horford? He disappeared. Where the fuck did he go? AKA Mr. 26. Mr. from 26-2. Completely disappeared since that game. That game, honestly. Jaylen Brown's is solid on both ends of the floor, honestly. I want to see someone else, though, kind of step up and say, yo, this is my team. We really need to win. I don't like their big, Robert Williams, third, whatever. I'm not really a fan of his game. Absolutely garbage. Warriors win 112-104, and they are your 2022 NBA champions. That's my prediction. Anyway, WNBA, Las Vegas over Dallas 92-84. CT over Atlanta 105-92, and Phoenix over Indy 93-80. Age and experience beat the young Fever team who fell apart in the third quarter. You have to love Indiana with all those first round picks they had, all that collegiate talent they have in one fucking building. It's ridiculous. This is really something serious. Anyway, tomorrow at 7 we have Seattle at Connecticut. A matchup of 2 of the WNBA's top teams. The Sun, who are in control of the East as of now, with the 11-4 record, are a highly talented group of lady ballers who shoot the 3 well. And they are led into battle by Mrs. Jonquel Jones, 6'6". By the way, oh shoot, go ahead, Google her. She drops 15 a game, 9 boards, and she shoots that thing from the field 53% and 42% from the 3. I didn't know that they let bigs shoot 3s. That's crazy. This is her 5th year in the league, so yeah, make sure you watch that game. It's gonna be awesome. Then at 8 o'clock, we got a doubleheader: Phoenix at Dallas and Atlanta at Chicago. And that's it for the WNBA. NCAA baseball tomorrow afternoon. The Men's College World Series double elimination game: Oklahoma at Texas for 2:30, and Notre Dame at the Texas Longhorns. That's at 2. That's it for collegiate and professional stuff. Western Mass Sports boys baseball semifinals, Division 5, Mountain Greylock over Georgetown 4-1. Now on to volleyball, Division 1 and 2 state championships. We have Needham over Westford Academy 3-0, and Westfield over North Quincy by the same score. Go ahead, Westfield Bombers! Woo! Lacrosse quarterfinals, divisions 1 through 4. Hingham over Xavier 13-8. Boston College High School over Acton Boxborough 12-10. Division 2, Reading over Westwood 14-4, and Long Meadow over North Attleboro 20-3. Shout out to them Lancers. Division 3, Drake over Foxborough 14-7. Medfield over Swampscott 18-3, and Norwell over Austin Prep 14-3. The last division, we have Dover Sherborne over Weston 6-5. Girls softball, Division 1 through 5 semifinals. Taunton over Methuen 6-3. Westfield over Billerica 5-2. That's a Western Mass victory right there. Damn, the Bombers. Middleborough over St. Mary's Lynn 8-0. Amesbury over Wacona 7-1. And Greenfield over Frontier 11-2. For what it's worth, they made it this far. I'm proud of the Red Hawks, honestly. They're like 8-16, something like that. The Red Hot Bats of Greenfield came to fucking play, and they advanced to the State Division 5 title game next week. Tennis Divisions 1 through 4, the semifinals: Lincoln Sudbury over Winchester 4-1. Division 2, Scituate over Masconomet 4-1, and Westboro over Bishop Stang 5-0. Division 3, Newburyport over Dover Sherborne 4-2, and Austin Prep over Weston 3-2. Last division, Wareham over Manchester Essex 4-1. And that will conclude episode 373 of 23 Sports Talk. Ryan was by here. What can I say? We have. We talked about basketball. Warriors are gonna win. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And this month needs to fly by, so July could fly by, and then we can get back to football. For the subscribers on YouTube, go see us over there, and thank you for your continued support of the show here on Facebook. Love you all. Wish you nothing but health, wealth, and success. Stay out of the heat because it's ridiculous, and have a good day.